Welcome to Starfleet's On Call. I am Paul Franz, owner of Franz Games. I run SFU Online, FedCom Online, and Starfleet Warlord. Just a reminder, join us for a talkcast every Thursday night starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can either call on phone system 605-562-0444. Just follow the directions. The call ID is 17702. Or you can participate on the web. Just go to the TalkShoe website at www.talkshoe.com. Search for call ID 17702 or SFU on call or Starfleet Universe on call. Or to find the best online experience, you want to go to twitch.tv. Yes, twitch.tv/SFU on call, and you'll find us there. That's where we broadcast this wonderful podcast live on starting around 9:35 on Thursday nights. That's Eastern Time, just to let you know. I forgot to say that. Now, if you need to contact me for any reason, my email address is sfuoncall@gmail.com. It's sfuoncall@gmail.com. Also, want to follow me on Twitter, or X, or whatever they're calling it this week. You can follow me on SFU on Call or Franz Games, FRNZGAMES, and that's no T in that, or Paul Franz PUL, FRNZ, again, no T in that. And of course, the lovely Talkcast gets to the podcast available on iTunes and various other feeds around the net, including YouTube. Some quick news from A to B this week. Steve Petrick was still working on the Orion Master Starship book. Steve Cole has been out with something. He doesn't know what it is. I think it's RSV at the moment. I don't think it's COVID, but I think it's RSV. So, he's having problems coughing up a lung, basically. So things are slowed down there just a bit. And this week found on the online store is Battle Force card deck. These are replacement card decks in case you've played Starfleet Battle Force so often that the cards are bad. They need to be replaced. So you can, instead of buying all the rules, the whole kit all over again, you can buy just the cards. And to just want the card decks, it'll cost you $15. And as I said, this is a replacement for the Starfleet Battle Force card decks. So you're missing out on the little chits and things like that, and the rule book and the rules that are with Starfleet Battle Force and all that kind of thing. So you can actually get a replacement card deck from them. Moving onward and forward, when it comes to the SFU Online tournaments, the Sapphire Star 16 tournament has not yet started. There has been no announcement yet. I have not heard anything about that. I'm assuming we'll probably start that beginning of next year. So keep an eye out, keep an ear out for that. When it comes to the online client stuff, nothing happened this week so far. I've been busy with other things, including taking my son back to his place of residence and taking my daughter to the airport, and say, or at least between those two, I've taken naps in the meantime, getting caught up on sleep and all that kind of thing. But I plan on doing some work on the online client. Should be this weekend. Today actually I've been working on SFU on Call, the website. I'm redoing it because it's about time to do it. I want to change it around from using Rapid Weaver to using a static site and generator, and hopefully I can get it so it works just as well as the current one when it comes to the podcast feed. And I'm hoping not to interrupt the podcast feed if you use the one that's on the SFUOnCall.com website itself. When it comes to the libraries, I'm sorry, I apologize. I do have time. I just keep forgetting to do it, which is updating the library, because I know Frank has sent me some I've done there, and I need to get back to that. And FedCom had not done anything there. I actually have to double check to make sure there's nothing that is needed. I know we got the gunboats for them. I'm not sure if where I last time I left it was I needed to make sure that with Steve Cole that it's okay to post them. I think it should be good by this point, but I'm still going to make sure before I actually add them to the library. So with that is news for this week. And it's me, SFU Paul Franz, welcoming you to Starfleet Universe on call. And tonight, well, it's just me and Doug. Say hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug. Hello.
Yeah, we don't have anyone else here tonight. It's just me and Doug. Gary's not here, which is fine, and Jeff's here, and I'm just hoping he's safe given the winter advisories for this past week when it comes to the Midwest, which is around where he's located and driving around that truck of his. So hopefully, Jeff, stay safe. Don't mind me. For those of you in the viewing audience, I just need to do what I normally do at the beginning of each of these. Whoops, and I better do that because I'm going to. There it is. Got to turn off the sound because I have as many of you know, I have an iPad right over that direction, just to monitor things to make sure I don't send out something which is bad, And obviously over there's also the chat room. So if you are on Twitch, I will actually see your wonderful chats if you go to twitch.tv/SFU on call, and we can talk that way. You can write in the chat room and I can just say hi. Browns 34, Jets 14. Wow, Browns are killing them. Actually, that's one thing I really should look up because my understanding is the Ravens have actually been doing really well this season to the point where they should make it to the Super Bowl. Took me a moment there. It's been a while since I watched football. Give me a break. I do. And let's check here because I'm pretty sure Dave also. Okay, cool. Just double checking. Thank you, Dave, for the challenge check earlier this evening. But anyway, topic for this evening, you got me on that one. I've been busy with other things. The one thing I actually have been busy with this week, and if you listen to the news portion of this podcast, you'll probably already hear me mention it, but I'll mention it again for those on the live stream. And that is, I've been working on the SFU On Call website, redoing it, changing it over to the current tool I'm using to a new tool. It's a static site generator. I think I've got it worked out. I have not worked out all of the details, but I think I finally got it. The look's going to be a little different. I'm hoping to grab things a little bit, maybe. At the moment, as is, if you ever looked at the SFUOnCall.com website, it's actually very, very, very basic. The only thing of interest actually is the header. That's a good thing I should do. Just give me a sec here. And do I have it here? No, that's the wrong one. Kill that. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, let's just bring it up, and then I will switch it over. Okay, and I actually had a reason to do this. I'm surprised, but I did have a reason to do this, which is switch it to the actual screen. This is what it looks like. The only thing of interest, because as I said, it's very small. Menu-wise, you have two things. You have the About page, and then you have all the podcasts. And that is it. This is the About page, and then you have the podcast page, which comes up something like this. It has a brief little description of each of the episodes. And you actually can go down to the RSS feed here, and this is the podcast feed. So if you copy this feed, go like here and go copy the link, and then you go to like iTunes or whatever your podcast catcher of choice is, you can actually then plug that in. Now the gotcha is going to be is when I change this, because right now I have the website looks something like this. It's simple. I kind of like it because it actually is simple. Simple blue to green gradient here with the title, and it's going to have the podcast listed here. And of course has the about page here, and actually I put this also on the about page, which is a copy of it. In theory, what I can do is I can get rid of this stuff here and have it so it goes on just on the about page. I might do that, but I like it. It's something simple. It's clean, and that's why I'm thinking about going to this kind of approach versus this one. And as I said, the current website for SFU on Call is very basic. You've got the 2 pages, and that's it. The only thing of interest is this header, which I have. That's the only thing that makes it special in any way, shape, or form. And as it is, I got this off of Shutterstock.com. I got a license for it, and I purchased it, and I'm using it on my website. And when I do this, it will be able to get rid of this made in Rapid Weaver, because currently I'm using Rapid Weaver in demo mode, because Rapid Weaver wants like $100 for a subscription, a yearly subscription, and it's like, no. I use it for creating this website, and that's about it. So there's no reason for me to actually spend it, because if I was actually a heavy duty Rapid Weaver person who used it heavily for the website and kept it up to date and used some of their plugins and because there are some really nice things that Rapid Weaver allows you to do, but no. So I'm gonna stick to a stack generator here. So that would be interesting. Actually, one thing I do plan on working on this week, I'm hoping, is to work on, see if I can get it all set up so that I can have a Linux flat pack installer for the SFU SFU online client, because of, as Gary mentioned last week, if you were listening, he mentioned that basically the Steam Deck is Linux, and it prefers things to be installed using Flatpak. Now, the only question I have, because here's always the issue with SFU on Call. Oh, sorry, the SFU online client and FedCom online client. The big issue is it uses Star Trek IP. And I'm not sure if they're willing to believe me in saying I have the right to distribute this IP, because actually this is Starfleet Universe IP, not specific to Star Trek, though obviously it's part of the original Star Trek, Star Trek TOS, the original series. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it into the App Store or not. I'd like to have it in the App Store, but I'm not sure if they're going to be buggers about that, because I know Apple is. I'm willing to bet you Google is too. I'm not sure about other app stores if they're a little more lenient about those things. they might be concerned about Paramount coming down their throats and going, no, you can't. I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not sure. My if they allow me in, I feel pretty confident in saying that they won't get in trouble by Paramount, because it's just another way of advertising for my same website. It's nothing new. It's not like they don't know about me. You know, trust me, I know they know about me. Now, obviously, they haven't bugged me for 10 years. So it's possible a new set of eyes might go, hey, you got stuff. No, I don't. I'm perfectly fine. Talk to Amarillo, and they'll tell you I'm fine. Well, previously I think
would you like a little feedback on the site?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, just looking at it, I would say if you're concerned about that, the very first page that you had there, or the one you just closed on the thing, I would say just a little rewording on that. Something like your podcast is about Amarillo Design Bureau's licensed Starfleet universe products. And that way you take out the keyword Star Trek. Just a thought. I mean, and maybe a different font or a font that has like an outline on it to basically make it stand out more from the background. That was just a couple thoughts there. Something a little more colorful for a background picture. But if that's licensed from Shutterstock, I could probably find another sci-fi based cityscape that's a little more like Star Trek-ish than that, because that looks more like kind of Eve University kind of, with the ships that are shown on it, as opposed to like something that might be from the Star Trek universe. Or we could ask ADV about maybe licensing a piece of, a chunk of their art to throw up there too. That's just a thought. Because then you could have, if you had, say, off of like the original box set that they own their rights to, or a montage, like one of each of the original box sets, like 3 or 4 products, the original cover art as like a 4-poster thing, that would take up your entire page, and then you still have the large space for SFU on-call episode listings and so forth. That was just a little bit of a couple things I thought of looking at it from a design perspective, especially if you want to bring it into like a more modernist setting and grab people's attention with it. Okay, I'm done. There's that. My inner artist blooms once in a while. Did you mute yourself?
I did, because I was drinking water. I didn't want people to hear me chugging my water. But yeah, sorry, I muted myself. Oh, that's like I'm on a Zoom call all over again. I have enough Zoom calls.
So yeah, just a couple of thoughts on the design for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoops.
Thank you for what you will.
Yeah, I misspelled tournaments here. Just realized that. But yeah, that's one thing I've not done. I know. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. The one thing I have not done is actually query ADB about some more graphics, because I know obviously when it comes to anything that I do, for the most part, he wants me to use their graphics. But I wanted to pick up something quickly, and I had the licenses available, so I picked up I picked up this one, which to me it's science fiction enough. Yeah, I agree that if you look at the actual spaceships themselves, these are not Star Trek like spaceships. Now, when it comes to Shutterstock, my concern would be is if they actually had anything that was Star Trek like that people could get away with without having Paramount coming down on Shutterstock and go, you got to remove these images.
Well, see, that's why I was saying go right to the source of ADB.
Right.
They own the art to their box sets.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get much simpler than that. And if they let you use something like that for a background, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe make a link with the ADB Star Trek product part, like back to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially like advertising for them in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Yeah, that's one thing.
I don't see why they wouldn't could be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I just have to ask them about that. To see what kind of graphics I can get, and what would be appropriate. Because the biggest thing, obviously, is I would want is I still would like to have it the header like the way it is across the top there. I like that format. Now, as you pointed out, I could have it so that it's more of the image is over here on the let's bring this up. The image is more like over here on the side of it, and then this stuff is like pushed over to the right. So that you can still see the episode,
the issue
but
with your header on the other page. The issue with your header on the other page is that it gets lost in the image. It blends a little bit.
You mean the text?
Yeah, the text.
Okay.
And what I was saying is you could do something to make that stand out more.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be just something as simple as an outline on the text itself. So, just a thought.
Understood. I have to look to see what kind of.
So like the first few words are kind of okay because they don't blend into anything, but then when you hit the bridge and the shadows, some of your text kind of gets a little bit like obfuscated, and just a little white outline across the board might do something like that, or a gold outline or something would make it stand out where the letters don't get kind of disappear into the background some. Especially on the small text where you have the ADB Star Trek products, which, like I said, I would change to something like ADB Starfleet Universe products with a hypertext link back.
Yeah, that's one thing. To do something along what you're talking about is the text here would actually have to be embedded in the image because of normal. Because right now, all this is a font. Though again, that's one thing I have. Which is I bought like last year, which is this CSS, the definitive guide, which probably at this point is out of date, but whatever. The idea was I was going to learn about CSS.
Oh, hey, I had a question for you.
Yes,
it's something that's been driving me nuts. Do you by chance have like a book you don't need anymore on Linux? Like I had the dummies guide, but it was the all-in-one where it was like 5 or 6 volumes, one big thick volume. But I haven't seen it since we moved, and I've been looking for that sucker.
Nothing that
I mean, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole other topic. And actually, that's one thing I'm working on right now is of my my youngest daughter's laptop, which gave to my middle child, which is my older daughter, laptop. Where actually I had to bring it home because of the battery was swelling. And fortunately, this laptop is Apple laptop is old enough that it's relatively simple to replace the battery. It's it's not so old that you can replace the battery without opening up the case, but it is old enough that you could with unscrewing one screw, disconnecting it from the motherboard, you can just pull it right out. But yeah, my middle child told me that it was basically expanding. It's like, that's not good. Don't charge it. Just bring it home. And I bought a new laptop this past year, like 2 or 3 months ago. And I gave her my old laptop, which was like maybe a year or two old, probably 2 years old at this point. And I said, okay, I wiped it. I moved all the information from your old laptop to my old laptop, which is now your new laptop, and you can take it home with you when you go back to Denver. So now she has an actual laptop that actually works. So right now I already ordered the replacement battery from iFixit, and I bought a new charger for it, and I've got Linux installed on. I got Linux Mint installed on it right now. I just have to. I'm waiting for the battery for it, because I wanted to play around with this. I got Eve up and running on it. I followed the directions to get Proton, running. I'm using Proton 8 on it. The default is the Proton Experimental. I went, no. So, and I went with Mint because I know.
You think I should just get rid of that?
What's that?
You think I should just get rid of that on mine?
Get rid of that.
But you haven't seen the Proton
Mm-hmm.
and replace it. That's my thing. I have Proton Experimental, but when I pull up the program and I look at it, it doesn't say that it's like associated with running Eve. So there's that. But then again, that's why I wanted to find a book on Linux to read up on it so I could see what to fix and how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just not kind of getting it from like searching on the internet right now.
Understood.
I'm a lot better when I have like a reference book.
Understood. Of course, the tough part about reference books these days is that
maybe it'll turn it.
Reference books usually are out of date in like a year's time. That's
5 minutes.
That's always the difficult part about them.
Yeah. It's worse. It would give Nader a heart attack. Ralph Nader.
Actually, one thing I gotta look up, which is when it comes to the Steam Deck, I forget what is the processor on the sucker. Give me tech specs. Because I thought it was like a non-Intel. It is actually an AMD. Well, actually, that doesn't mean it says AMD APM. Is that Intel instruction set? CPU is it's a Zen 2. So I have to look at that more. Because the reason why I'm concerned about it is just because of when it comes to the flat pack, if I want to get it so that it's available on the online client is available on the Steam Deck, the question then is what is the CPU? Is it Intel based? Is it ARM based? Is it MIPS based? What is it? I'm assuming that's Intel instruction set, which is Intel slash AMD x86 instruction set. That's my assumption, because that'll have the biggest available games without having to worry about anything when it comes to like Apple does with like Rosetta 2, where they actually convert it from Intel to Apple Silicon on the fly. They do a conversion. So I'm not sure that the Steam Deck would be doing that. So I'm willing to bet it's x86.
But I think I saw 90% of my problem in the one thing where it said specs and it needs at least 16 gigs memory.
Yeah. Understood.
I guess that's the biggest deal right there.
Yeah, that's what this laptop has.
It sort of works on the 8 gigabyte machine, but it's like super slow and it locks up when you get into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it will load the game. It just won't play it, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried to play it because of it was annoying. It didn't let me. I don't think it recognized my character. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure it didn't recognize my characters. Probably because.
Well, here you go. When you go in, here's what you need to do. When you launch Eve from Steam, you just add a client, and you use your account name to add the client first.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
Go in through the Steam thing.
Through the Steam launcher.
The Steam thing, I think, is different. Yeah. When you launch it from Steam, immediately close Steam. Eve will launch, and it's run by and monitored by Steam in the background. And you'll see on the bottom right of the Eve launcher when that comes up, you'll see like, you can connect with your buddies, your pals, your friends, whatever. You'll see some stuff from Steam on the bottom right. And then there will be a generic login thing. That's for the Steam account. So if you go in through there, you're going in as basically like an anonymous player.
Right.
I think I didn't bother with it. I just went and added the client to it because I've run multiple clients on that launcher since like basically I started playing the game. So you go add client, you add your account there.
Okay.
And then you launch it from your account. And you'll be able to play the game if you've got the memory for it and a good setup.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to do that.
I mean, it's like that's exactly what I did. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And when I took that drive out and plugged it into the 16 gig box, it worked. It got all the way into loading the game where I could see a ship. I had to lower all my graphics setting to like the lowest and everything, but I got it to work. And then it just kind of like says, screw you, and dies. And when I say 16 gig machine, I mean 8 gigabyte machine. In my head, it's already 16 because that's what I want to do. I'm going to upgrade it soon. That was pretty much all I wanted for Christmas that did not come. One of those things. Honey, here's the website. Honey, it's only $14 a stick, and free shipping with 7 to 10 days delivery. Yeah, did I get that for Christmas?
And hopefully it actually works.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Well, it was memory stock. They got a bunch of good reviews.
Yeah.
I would take my chance for under $60 on it.
Oh, understood. Yeah.
Max it out.
What is it, Cat? The Zinni's right by my feet. For those of you interested. But because actually that'd be kind of good. I listened to this one YouTuber who she was just, okay, don't jump. Um, she was mentioning how the whole mentioning the whole kerfluffle when it comes to the Linux community, which is how to distribute apps. There's multiple ways, and there's the Flatpak. There is Snap. Of course, there's different package managers, which are actually depending upon which distribution you're using, whether it's um, Deb or RPM, or I think that's the only two major ones. Um, which actually installs it on in your operating system itself. The whole idea of a Flatpak is that all the dependencies are part of the quote unquote image of the Flatpak, and so it'll use what? So won't have to worry about you won't have to worry about collisions between two different applications that have two different dependencies on two different versions of a library. Which has always been an issue, even in Windows, where it's called DLL hell. Where you have one application that updates a version of a DLL to an updated version, while that breaks another application that's on the same computer because it needs the older version of that same DLL. This is the fun stuff that I had to deal with way back in the day when I had to develop for Windows, and I still remember the day. The one thing that always got me in my mind is at one point Microsoft did something just so inane, so like, why? Is they actually changed the way an API worked between two different what were they called, levels? Not release levels. It was like service pack levels. That's it. From one service pack to another service pack, they changed the actual how the API worked, which was annoying, to say the very least. But anyway, yeah. So when it comes to the website, I want to update it, and I'll take your suggestion into mind, Doug, and hopefully we can get something nice. At the very least, I can start with something basic. Go something basic like this, because as I said, this one has this little thing made in Rapid Weaver, because that's why I use a product called Rapid Weaver. See, classic, use a demo. I usually bring up the website.
Here's a question, because I have no clue. Is that a proprietary thing for a particular web host?
No, it's a proprietary software for any host. Because all this does is this generates the website, and then right, copies the files up onto the web host. And I have a virtual machine running my website.
You're not like trapped in something.
Nope. The only thing I'm trapped into right now is using this product at the moment, because it has all of my episodes, well, all the way up to 411 to 740 are all on the website at the moment. And I've manually entered every single one of these suckers over time. And so I need to convert that to...
It's like, here's a flashback.
Yeah.
I have Microsoft Developer Studio from like the Visual J++ 1.1 version way back in the day.
Wow.
And I used that to like basically just prep all the HTML stuff originally on the sites. And that was, and upload them. And that was way back when I used to change the site for for every gamers convention. And and I kept them year by year. But one year I just said screw it and just said, okay, this is this year's convention, and just changed it in the software provided by the web host. I think I might have that on my laptop. We're at Gamers and you haven't gotten around to it by then. I could whip up something with some CSS background issues on it for you. Oh my goodness. Okay.
At one point, actually, had set up a Slack server for SFU on call, and I abandoned it. I really should make sure that that thing's deleted. They probably deleted it by now, but you never know. Just like I had a couple weeks ago, I actually sat down, and I'm sure you've heard about it, which is that Google is deleting all, going through all their old Gmail accounts, which have been abandoned. So they're starting to clean that up. Now, I'm actually, to be honest, I'm surprised I had not heard any squawks from the security community, because I remember, oh man, it's been so many years now, but many years ago, Yahoo was doing the same thing, where they were basically decommissioning these old email accounts and then going to be allowing their reuse later on. Now,
okay,
I don't think Google's mentioned anything about actually having it so that those accounts can be reused yet. But I'm assuming at some point in the future, whether it's might be in a couple years or something like that, they're going to allow the reuse of that same name. Yes, Kitty. Say hello. Hello. Mwah. Goodbye. Okay. So anyway, sorry, went down.
I don't know.
Went down that rabbit hole. So.
But then again, I don't trust those large companies that much. They're doing it for a reason, and it's.
Oh, I understood that. That's one thing I always.
They're in the best interest of the users.
Yeah, I have to keep an eye out on, which is Google, because I actually tried to send a Gmail account an email from one of my domains, and it screamed about that I didn't have an SPF record. Well, I come to find out that yes, I forgot to set up that domain with an SPF record. But Gmail, now is really, really particular about anything that you send from basically from any email account. If it doesn't have an SPF record in the domain and it's a valid domain, valid SPF record, saying okay that the email came from this server and that server is allowed to send mail for that domain, it'll bounce it. So that's one of the things that Google's doing.
That's even more persnickety.
Yep. And of course, for people like me, who use like MailChimp, haven't used Constant Contact yet. What's the other one? I was going to say Tiny Letter, but Tiny Letter is going out of business. There's some other ones. But anyway, where you actually have mailing lists, where you actually, you're not a spammer, they're actually sending people emails that tell them, okay, this is what's happening. And
you're whitelisting yourself.
Yeah, well, they're getting blocked. They might be getting bounced because I had that same issue for my archery club, where some guy said, I'm not getting your emails. And I'm going, I'm pretty sure I got everything set up for that account. So I'm not sure why he's not receiving my emails. So I have to double check to see why. I have to test out sending it from that email address, and hopefully that because I'm sending it to, I think it might be a Gmail address, and it might be that it's bouncing and I just don't see it because of I'm sending the mailing from MailChimp, and in theory it should be working fine because I know I did the whole stinking setup for what was it, last year I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last year where actually I set it all up so that it has. I actually registered a new domain. I added the SPF record and all so that for my archery club we actually can send it and it should not bounce or it should not be marked as spam. Of course, in some cases, it's always a gotcha because the problem is so many people. At least this is the way I feel is happening when it comes to sending out mailing lists. I feel like instead of clicking on the unsubscribe link, they're automatically marking as spam instead of being careful about it. Because I know that invariably, people get spam, and you don't want, and people get told, oh, don't click on the unsubscribe link because it just tells them that's a good email address and you'll get more spam. Well, that is true. If it actually is spam, if it's for a legitimate email, which are things like, if you get something from actual Walmart.com or Amazon.com, I mean, legitimate ones that are, you can tell that they're legitimate, or some other companies, they want you to unsubscribe. They don't want to be marked. They won't be considered spam. They want to get it to the people they want to get it to. So it.
Well, this all falls under the this is why we can't have nice things category of stuff. Because you got these, scammers out there that are scum that basically they do the phishing attempt and they spoof everything. You click on the unsubscribe thing and you've got a virus, or you've been backdoored or some horrible thing. And that's what people are being told. They said, don't click that button because we don't know if that's real or if it's spoofed. And if it's spoofed, well, you just made more work for your IT people. Just not to mention what other damage might be done. That's just my thought on it.
Oh, agreed. As I say,
that's why, in my personal opinion, a lot of these quote white collar crimes, they're not. They could be much more insidious than that.
You comfy now?
Oh, he's putting on some weight.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Looks like he put on some weight there.
I love you.
Yeah, definitely getting to be a big kitty. Oh. How old is he now?
How old are you? I know he's like a year and a half old, I think.
It only seemed like yesterday he was a little kitten running up on your shoulder.
Oh no! Yeah, I have pictures of him when he was really small. When he would snuggle up with our older cat. Now you want a big cat. Saka is a big cat. Now he's not as big as some cats I've known. A friend of mine from college. I was staying. We were sharing an apartment in Paladin Village, Philadelphia, and he was watching his sister's cat. Brought him to the apartment because of the sister was going on a trip and they want to make sure they had someone watching over the cat. It's like, okay, no problem, we can do that. I've had cats since I was young, so it's like, oh, it's a cat. This cat was like, he was rotund. He was like, you could roll him because he was still round, So, that was a big cat. That was a big cat. But anyway, yeah. Actually, at one point, what I really need to do is is redo this website, which is the SFB Online set website. I need to redo this one because this one is getting up in age. It looks much better than it did, but and these headers are actually from Marcus something. I forget his last name. Marcus did this really, to help out, to see how, it says that dance begins and it has different icon, different calendars here. And some of these are pretty much are shared.
Looks nice.
Yeah. Got weasels, smelling blood for the tournament, and so forth. But he did a really nice job on the headers, and I like that. But I know this website is getting a little bit old, and things I should do, like, I'm not sure if you noticed, this is a pretty old version of a Mac. At this point, you can tell by what's up here and the window decoration here. This one you can see is a little newer. The flat background, flat window decoration here, and same here. How it's, the bar now is a single color. It's not multicolor. So, and this is that looks a lot like what the client is today. Some of it's changed. Some when it comes to FedCom. I forget if this is the way it is, which has actions with movement, fire, launch, and systems. It's been a while since I looked at the FedCom portion of the client, but I know like this stuff is still there. But I feel like it's another one of those things, one of the websites I really need to update because I already did, which I have shown you guys before, which is this is the new Starfleet Warlord website, which is, it uses that static web generator to generate it. It looks quite nice. I got, news portion here. Got the games, which actually I have to update these. I should have updated these. Got my downloads. It's a very simple, but overall nice. You can log into your account. I'm not about to log in, but this is the update. I've updated Starfleet Warlord website. So that's one thing that as a website owner that you need to do at least at the very latest, every 5 years, you should be updating your website the way it looks. Some people update it more often, like every 2 years. The look and feel of the website. But of course, I'm a single person, and I don't think updating the website usually is the most critical portion of actually running the website itself. There are more important things to do. But this is a start, and this is hopefully, I can get this integrated and what I want to do for this one is actually add, if I can't do it so that it's dynamic to start with, where you actually, as you enter in like the orders, because actually I think I do have, let's see, do I have any? Yeah, here it is. Where you actually can enter in the moves here, and it can actually maybe have a button so I can say, okay, confirm, check the orders out. And so you can actually verify the extra orders and verify the movement orders, because currently it doesn't do either. So I think it might be good just at the very least have that one basic thing, even if I can't do it more dynamically, and have it so that actually as it gets filled in, I then can run the validation. So if I could just have another column here, which is just okay, is it valid or not? So little things like that I like to improve. And actually, there was a guy, John Sniff, who wanted to talk to me about Starfleet Warlord, and I told him, like, hey, sure. The only problem you're gonna have to do is actually you have to make an appointment. Basically, I told him, because the problem is, if you really want to make sure that you catch me on the phone, we have to schedule a time when you want to call me. Because yes, in theory you could call me during the day, but I might be in a meeting. My day job is going to be more important than Starfleet Warlord. Or if it's at night, depending upon the night, if it's a Wednesday night, you got a 3 out of 4 chance that I'll be available. But the other days, like any Friday night, forget it. I'm bowling. Thursday night, forget it. For the most part, because between me getting dinner ready and getting ready for the podcast, and then doing the podcast, I'm not going to be available. Things like that. So it's like, it's best if you could just, okay, let's schedule a time so we can talk, and I'd be happy to discuss anything you want. So that is what it is. Anyway, with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up for this evening. We got to talk about the website and update the websites that we have. Obviously the Starfleet World is up to date, and just a quick mention of SFU Online on that. So, Doug, it's always a pleasure to have you around.
Can I plug?
By all means, plug away.
Can I plug real quick?
Plug away.
Gamers of Winter, 2 months. If you're going to GM, give me a schedule. Also, I was thinking, and I just want to throw this idea at you. Think about it. Let me know sometime between now and next week, or next week. And then what about doing just a meetup as well, like Starfleet Battles Corner meetup thing, Starfleet Universe meetup thing, as well as other scheduled events. Something like that, something more social that you don't have every day. And you have a happy new year and all that stuff, and feel free to pop down anytime. Give me a holler, let me know you're coming by.
Oh yeah, well, we'll do. I'll give you a heads up before I come down.
Taking a look at it. All right.
Okay.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay. So, had a nice little discussion there about some topic that I had not expected to talk about, which is obviously the SFU On Call website and the updating to that. Hopefully getting the online client so it's available on the Steam Deck. Obviously at the moment you can install it via either, if you have Windows, you can install it there. In theory, since it's Linux, you should be able to install using the regular installer. But from the sounds of Gary, it's more difficult. And if I could actually have it so it's available as a flat pack, and hopefully that people can either grab it from my website or install it from the App Store, which is best possible. if I can do it actually through the website, through the App Store, that'd be great. So it'd be, having it available on the Steam Deck would be nice. I understand that you probably won't be able to use the joysticks, because I actually looked at that a little bit, and it doesn't look like the joysticks are available in Java. It's something that sounds like I might have to do it like in Unity or some other engine like that actually recognizes the controllers. So anyway, so with that, I am Paul Franz, and I bid you a good night.